So here we go. Hey, it's Mike Brennan, and we're doing MITech TV once again. Here it is already October 9th. Hard to believe, except the weather sure changed in the last couple of days. So I guess we can believe it's October because Mother Nature is telling us.
Absolutely.
Great show today. We're going to be looking at lots of different topics, but we're going to start off with Catherine Wrench from Lawrence Technological University. Matt, take it away.
All right. Thanks very much, Mike. And thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk about Lawrence Tech here on MITechNews.TV. First of all, Catherine, welcome to the show. And why don't you start off by telling the folks what your title is?
My title at Lawrence Tech is Executive Director of Sponsored Research and Institutional Grants.
Okay. And how long have you been with the university?
Oh, I've been with the university almost 3 years now.
Okay.
In higher education, about 25 years. Yep.
All right. And so describe, if you could, real briefly, what your role is at Lawrence Tech. What does that job description do on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, wow. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about all of this stuff that's really exciting. My day-to-day is very exciting. In sponsored research, I help people find funding for research. I help to put together grant proposals and applications. I also oversee financial compliance and other aspects of research compliance. I design and deliver training programs. I have opportunities sometimes to visit outside of the university, industry, labs, here on campus and outside, and just promoting and facilitating education. So it's not just about research to me, but it's about the educational experience of the students. And I don't mean to go on and on forever, but I'm really excited about my job. So
Okay.
I always think every day that it's a chance to change the world. When I get up every day and come to work, I really, for 25 years, have thought that it's an opportunity to change the world. I work with brilliant people. I work with faculty. I work with students that have lots of promise. And I'm excited about that. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you today.
Oh, sure. Now we hear a lot, and Lawrence Tech's strategic plan actually has in it to become an R2 research university. Could you tell us a little bit about, what R2 means? What does that designation entail?
So R2, as with many things to do with research and with our economic engine in the United States, they find a way to just kind of classify things so everybody kind of is on the same page and knows what we're talking about. When we talk about R2 institutions, we're talking about institutions that grant 20 or more PhDs per year, as well as more than $5 million in research expenditures annually. And that is probably about, by the count, when I looked at the Carnegie classifications, they had listed about 150 institutions or so. And those institutions that are, R2 level, that's a bigger pot. The R1 level is actually much significantly higher, but the R1 and R2 institutions draw about 75% of funding from our federal government for research support. So that's a significant strategic emphasis, is to grow the pie for that we have available to support education, to support facilities, to support the entire preparedness for students. So bottom line is it all goes back to preparing students.
So tell me a little bit about what kind of research is going on right now at Lawrence Tech.
So we do the kind of research at Lawrence Tech. Our motto for a long time, 90 years, has been theory and practice. And now we are be curious, make magic. And I think that both of those are very apt for Lawrence Tech. The kind of research that we do is very based in, of course, inquiry, but it's also based in the practice, based in preparedness, based in our partnerships with our surrounding industries here in Michigan. We are really we really do a great job preparing our students. Our students come out at 95% placement, highest salaries in the state. for preparedness. We're STEM focused, technology focused, and the kind of research that we do here embodies that, but as well integrates the human aspect of, say, when we talk about artificial intelligence, we're preparing students and working with students every day. We have a track on our campus for self-driving cars. You know, not very many campuses actually have that, self-driving cars on campus. We have a mechatronics lab that has robots, as well as not just in our engineering, but as well in our architectural facilities. So the integration of that, as well as the pipeline of K through 12 education. We do educational research. We bring K through 12 to campus. We work with community colleges. We also, our research is, I don't want to forget our CIMR, Center for Innovative Materials Research, where we do research on all the bridges in Michigan, the components for making bridges strong and last more than our lifetimes.
So
you have to give me a signal to stop talking.
No, that's okay. I'll tell you, I'll find a way to get you to stop talking when you stop being interesting. But what you were just talking about is interesting, so I just carry on. But how do you think research affects the experience of a student at LTU? What's sort of the value proposition of, having more research at the university?
Well, what I said about be curious, make magic, I think that higher education always has been, and not just higher education, when a human being comes to the planet, we hope that forever we have this curiosity about life. And I think sometimes the educational process can shut that off, but I think at Lawrence Tech, we open that up. And I think that just that is really, really important, that the curiosity continues. And that is that is the critical part, I think, of preparing students, to prepare them to be lifelong learners, especially today where, you can turn on your computer, you can open up your phone, you can get knowledge anywhere, but learning to integrate it, learning to kind of assess it, credibility of it, and utility of it, as well as being responsible with it, I think is what we are teaching.
So one of the more exciting things I think that I've covered recently in Lawrence Tech doing the news releases here is this grant from the National Science Foundation that we got for boosting research capacity at universities like ours. Talk a little bit about that grant, if you would, please, and tell me what's going to be happening over the next couple of years thanks to that grant.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that. That grant is kind of like, honestly, it's almost like my life's work, the 25 years or so that I've been in research administration. That grant is BRINC, Building Research Infrastructure, Networks, and Knowledge, to build the capacity of institutions like ours. So National Science Foundation put out a call to, and they said, we're offering money if you have a solution for a problem. Have a problem, have a solution. Well, the problem is preparing research administrators like me, who work across all kinds of organizations, not just universities, but research administrators work in hospitals, they work in industry, they work anywhere where people have problems to solve, and with the tools to, go after those solutions. So facilitating teamwork across institutions is really important. That grant is about the process of training people in appreciative inquiry, which is facilitating conversations that are open and productive and inclusive. So that grant will bring together stakeholders across Michigan and actually reaching across Florida with our partner university as well to help people build a network, the infrastructure and knowledge for doing the job when you maybe only have 1 or 2 FTEs, at smaller institutions that are engaged in research. So thanks for that. I love that. grant. I love that that need has been recognized, and and I'm looking forward to doing that work.
So talk to me a little bit about what you see on the horizon for how research is conducted at universities and specifically at Lawrence Tech. Where do you think that's going to be 10 years from now?
I believe that higher education has shifted and has been in a mode of shifting, and that when we reached where we had the pandemic, where we were, in the mode where we had to think about things in a different way, like really think about things in a different way very quickly. I think that it cemented that change that had already been occurring, where the expectations about education were different, the expectations about accessibility, democratization of education, about the use of technology, about the value proposition of education. I think that Lawrence Tech has already been in that business of recognizing the value proposition, of integrating knowledge, of making education accessible, and recognizing that it's the K through 12 pipeline, it's partnership, it is beyond that. And as well as the lifetime aspect of learning. So I think that all of those things, that everyone in society will begin to recognize that, and that we will have to rise to that challenge in higher education across the board.
Okay, Mike, any questions from you?
Right. So, what's the total value of all the various grants that you've received? Do you have any idea what ballpark figure we're looking at?
We are right now, we do about 3 million. To get to that 5 million, we may reach it in another year or so. So we've come from less than 1 million to tripling that. And right now we're pretty close to, even though we're only in the first couple of months of the fiscal year, pretty close to where we are halfway mark typically during the entire year. So we're making significant progress. I always like to think of it as you take a climb and then you kind of see how you can stay there. So really that's really important, is that the grants that we're getting are ones that are building our organizational capacity, similar to the BRIC grant, similar to we get grants that match the research that our researchers are doing and that invest in our partnerships with surrounding entities as well. So we're building the capacity for sustainability.